Hey Bat fans, Luke here, back with another video, and in case you missed my last video, I mentioned the fact that I am getting ready to move. And, part of the moving process is, gotta get everything packed, ready to go, get everything nice and secure. And in doing so, I was, bored and kind of, watching some YouTube videos and listening to kind of like a podcast type thing. And one of my fellow bat reviewers on YouTube mentioned the fact that he wanted to review issue number 400, and I was packing my stuff up. I was like, that's actually a pretty good idea. So I went through my collection and pulled it out and reread it and figured, yeah, let's go ahead and just do a quick video on this. Batman issue number 400. It is an anniversary issue, and I will say it's actually really good. The premise might not be as original as you might think. We've seen it numerous times, and but I think what Doug Moench, who is the sole writer on this issue, does really well is he does craft a tale, again with a concept that which not be totally original. Actually, it's actually a good prelude to what was to come with upcoming in Nightfall, which I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, Doug Moench is the sole writer in this, and what makes this really a special issue is that you see all this talent here on the left. These are all artists, and basically what this story is, we open up the first page, you see the overarching story is called Resurrection Night. And what happens in Resurrection Night, the story, is actually broken up into, I believe, 12 chapters. And each chapter is done by an artist team, a different artist team. So you go through the story broken up by 12 sub-chapters, gets to the very end. And again, each chapter is done by an artist, but it is really like the who's who, some of the artists, back in the day. You got Bill Sienkiewicz is in here. You got George Perez, Joe Kubert does art. I think also Adam Kubert, we know today, actually does the lettering. But you even see a nice little intro by Stephen King on the front page, and he wraps it up at the very end. And it really is, Brian Boland and whatnot. I mean, I can go down the whole entire list, but you see, it really is a really packed issue with really good creative talent. And it starts with this cover. And Sienkiewicz's arts style, kind of sometimes it's hit or miss. I am generally more a fan of it, especially more of his older stuff. I think he might be the type of artist, I think, that his style has gotten better with age, where you might see some artists kind of as time goes on, they might rather just be their skills kind of dissipating as they move on through their career, or they try to alter their style to be more modern and realistic or whatnot, and in doing so kind of misses out on some of the quality they had compared to back in the day. But Sienkiewicz, I think his art, while back here, I mean back when this came out, was good, I think his more newer stuff today is better. That's just my opinion. But anyway, the concept of the story is that, and again, this is so old, this is more just kind of discussion of the plot, so I mean, there's going to be spoilers here. I think that's kind of unavoidable. But we have Ra's al Ghul come in, and what he does is he triggers basically an Arkham and Blackgate escape for all of Batman's rogues to be set free. In doing so, pretty much be given a mission. And each individual, sometimes they kind of work in pairs with all the rogues, but they're all meant to go kidnap select few of Batman's allies. Robin, not Robin, Vicky Vale, Harvey Bullock, Alfred Pennyworth, and Julia Pennyworth. Yes, Julia was, back in Batman canon way back when. A little different than we know of her today, but that was basically the gist. Is that in exchange for being set free from Arkham and Blackgate. These individuals were to capture these allies of Batman. And the ulterior motive, which Ra's gives this plot, unbeknownst to the Rogues, is that he's really setting them up as well. But it's another ploy for Batman to join Ra's al Ghul's side in doing his evil plot, and doing so also with these rogues here. Batman, he knows that unleashing these villains, he's just not gonna let them go. So Ra's is basically gonna get a 2-for-1 here. Hopefully, get Batman as an ally, and at the same time eliminate the competition. Get all the rogues out of the way, taken care of, and Ra's basically gets what he wants. But Ra's twist when it comes to Batman, it's something that we've seen numerous times before, is that Batman, he goes against all these villains, and it's like a revolving door. He gets them, puts them in Arkham or Blackgate, and they come right back out. Ra's is basically saying, hey, we can make this end tonight. Rid yourself of the responsibility of Gotham. Finally eliminate your rogues and join me. And Batman obviously doesn't want nothing to do with it, but it's just something that we've seen kind of replayed over and over again, and I think Doug Moench does really well. And again, what Moench does well too is just like we saw later on in Batman and Detective with him and Chuck Dixon, is that with this Arkham and Blackgate breakout, you see Batman become kind of stretched thin. His patience has kind of gone awry, and then self-doubt begins to creep in. But it's done really well, and you see Jason Todd, he's in here. He does a really good job, along with actually Talia and Catwoman, kind of motivating Batman along to end this dastardly plot that Ra's has. And it's done really well. Again, each kind of chapter kind of focuses on each group of villains. See through. Yeah, this is old, so you might see some of the ink might not be in the greatest condition here, but I just love how it just starts off right off the bat. It just talks about Arkham and Blackgate, how each inmate is just kind of like their own character. It was just awesome. But yeah, so after the breakout, you see kind of two groups kind of begin to split, with Joker kind of in his group trying to want to get with Ra's. Then the other side initially kind of not having it, like Two-Face and whatnot. See Chapter 3, you see Julia be captured by Scarecrow. You get Poison Ivy capture Harvey Bullock. You get oh boy, what is his name? Black Spider capture Vicky Vale, and you see here Bill Sienkiewicz. This actually I think might be one of the better parts of the story. The ending is really good, but I just love the dialogue you see here between Batman and Ra's. Again, it's Ra's kind of giving this plot to Bruce, ultimately join me and ultimately get rid of your rogues, and it's just the way Batman is steadfast and in his morals and his moral compass, whatnot. And it's just really well done, and the art accentuates it really well. Again, while I do think Sienkiewicz's modern art is a little bit better, this was just really awesome to look at. You do see the twist here where ultimately Riddler kind of gives up the plot with all the other of his Batman's allies being captured. It was okay, kind of part of the weaker story. There is one really convenient plot element in this story. It is the arrival of Talia in this. She really just comes out of nowhere, and Batman kind of just trusts her a little bit too easily, but neither here nor there. You see Joker kidnapping Commissioner Gordon, actually kidnapping the whole GCPD with a prison outside the building, electrifying it. It was really cool and clever. But yeah, I mean, it was a good. It's a really good story. While it does have some kind of weak points to it, but Batman ultimately does go head to head with Ra's in a really clever plot twist of Ra's actually going into a Lazarus pit. Fully, nothing really wrong with him, but in doing so, really runs the risk of the pit actually killing him. But it does lead to this really epic clash between Ra's and Batman. One also another great art entry here by Brian Boland. The head-to-head clash between Batman and Ra's, and some pretty good two-page splash there. Even though the crotch shot by Ra's is what it is. But yeah, I mean, it was a good story. Again, it was well plotted. I mean, the whole issue really no ads at the very end, and just ends up here. Everyone coming to join. Oh, by the way, this happens on the anniversary night of Batman becoming Batman. Hence the anniversary issue. And this ends up in a way that Batman still got these rogues that he was not able to capture. Two-Face, Clayface, Black Mask, whatnot. They're still out there, so no rest for the wicked. And then it ends up here with some kind of pretty decent pinup art. At first, I thought this was really good, but I think Batman's head, it just looks a little bit very Pasarin-like. If you look at Fernando Pasarin, I like Pasarin, but he does have kind of like an egg-shaped head design for all of his characters, and this kind of like takes it to the nth degree, I think, a little bit. But all in all, good pinup art. Yeah, this was just a fun story, and it's a simple one and done, real thick. I think how many pages are in it, but it's a good story. Again, kind of like a prelude, not really a prelude, but a concept that we'll see really executed really well in Nightfall, with the breakout of all Batman's villains. How to, dress him out, tire him out, test his mettle, whatnot. And it's done really well. I mean, it really does the theme of the anniversary. The anniversary issue being 400, and the anniversary Batman becoming Batman, being celebrated by his allies, and also too his villains. Downside to this might not be easily accessed. Don't think there's too many of them floating out. I seriously doubt you'll see it in the dollar bin. If you do come across it, you might have to pay a little bit. I've seen anything from $20 to $40. I think this one I got for like $30. I think. Get my collection back, but yeah, that's kind of like the downside to it. It's that it might be a little bit tough to find, and in doing so, you might pay a little bit, but definitely fun. I'd give this a 4 out of 5. Excellent story. It's a classic, and if you get your hands on it, definitely pick it up, read it. If you have it, pull it out and read it. I mean, it's a classic. It's one that you'll read more than once. So, anyway, those are my thoughts on Batman issue number 400. Hit me up in the comments below what you thought about it, and we'll bat chat about it and kind of go from there. So, try to sneak out 1 or 2 more videos before I make my move. If not, I'll get another video cranked out as soon as I'm settled on the other side. So, until next time, everybody, take care.